Welcome on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Hot sex on the platter makes the mission complete.
And the mission is completed.
There's just something about, just
Emphasize on the come.
the,
And pleated.
but not the platter.
No, fuck the platter.
So you just want to just get into it like right away. Just
Yes,
like,
I do, but I'll wait till you do the intro because I got something to say. I'm doing my soapbox early.
Ah, jeez. Gosh.
Black Lives Matter, Joe. Respect me.
Hey, man, I never said they did it. But, some may say
You gotta
that
allow me to
all-
speak my piece.
all
Oh,
Black Lives
get
Matter.
the fuck out of here.
What's up? I said all Black Lives Matter.
Oh, okay.
Jeez Louise. Welcome one.
Hey.
Welcome all to episode 77 of the None of Our Business podcast. We are your hosts, Keenan, CNN Dunkaroos, C-Section, C-Notice, see your way out of here, C-3PO, C-4.
I don't like my chip part.
C-Section. It wasn't bad. Aw, jeez, man.
Well, that's what Philly taught me.
No, you're over here messing it up, Keenan.
Okay.
And I'm Joe. Welcome. Hot
Episode.
off the heels of last week's episode.
Oh yes, really hot. Hot.
I'm
and heavy.
hoping the audio sounds a lot better today.
It was fast and noob.
And foodious and nubious.
Nubius.
Yeah, apologies for any
I listened to
audio discrepancies that you may have heard.
It wasn't 100% bad, but
I mean, for me, it wasn't. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't. It
See what
wasn't
happens
at
when
the
you get into it?
pinnacle.
Yeah.
It wasn't at the pinnacle of what I wanted it to be. And again, it's because I was using a different mic. We were traveling, so it was a little harder to just record. It's harder to drive and
Yeah.
record.
If anybody just watches anime, it's like Joe, the nerdy kid with the glasses at a computer trying to fix shit. And you see a little shine come across his glasses.
So that shine, and then
Shing.
I put the glasses up, and then I chuckle.
And then it goes even faster.
Nani?
Oh my god. I haven't seen anime in a while, but yes, Joe, I want to get something off my chest. I watched Dave Chappelle, 846,
Yeah.
and it made me want to speak on something.
You don't want to speak on that first. You just want to get right into your.
No, well, I mean, no, we can. Well, I mean, it definitely was really. I actually took must have been, I don't know how long, 20, 30 minutes of my own personal silence. I tried to go downstairs and work in the basement, but I just sat there staring at my project.
It was.
I was like,
Damn.
damn.
It was a bit of a shell shock. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. It's like, damn,
Mhm.
because
Because
like-
you felt it. You felt him.
Chappelle. He likes to be controversial. He likes to just be able to say shit, and then people are gonna react. But it felt like this time, it was. I mean, there was some humor in it, but I
Yeah.
don't think this special was meant to be funny
No,
necessarily.
no.
It wasn't. Like it felt like Chappelle, like it really hit him this time.
Mhm.
And not to say that it hasn't hit him in the past, because he's always had a political stance, and he's always had a voice in what he's done. But this time it really felt like, he's angry
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time. But it's funny because he said, I feel some type of way, but at the same time, I'm really not gonna say much. Even then, that special said everything that it needed to say.
It did. And I liked it when he mentioned in his own neighborhood some shit went down. Not
Yeah.
just to him, but somebody else. And hopefully that resonated with his audience and his the residents of where he was living in Ohio.
The residents in his neighborhood probably don't watch that shit.
Probably. I don't know, which makes it horribly wrong that we still got people out there who would notice it, recognize it, and either don't care or will laugh or something like that. I'm pretty sure, and I have a feeling that I even know certain people like this, but I'm pretty sure there are people out there who would watch the video and laugh at it, or seeing
Right.
this guy get, choked out.
Well,
and
it's
killed and be
disgusting because
yeah.
we've seen videos, clips of people making fun of it.
Right.
Like
right.
I've seen pictures of kids, or not kids, but teenagers
yeah.
doing some dumb shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. There's the video of that guy who worked at FedEx, who I guess while the protesters were marching, they were like chilling in front of their house, and one of the dudes had his neck on another guy that was like, completely covered. And it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You guys really think this shit is funny? Like,
Yeah. Crazy,
what?
right?
What?
People would think that by at least 2020 we would be some sort of civilized nation, like some Demolition Man shit. And
Was that a
really-
civilized society though?
I'm just making a Fictorial reference.
Fictitious? Gosh, Keenan, we went over this
I
last
know that we
week.
did, but I like it. Fictorial.
Fictorial.
Dude, what if that's a real word?
And this guy has a degree, guys. Like he's legit. He has like a degree in
and not in English. So
Oh, okay, that excuses
I can
everything.
get away
Did you have
with
to
it.
do like general ed shit to get?
you know what sucks about that is that maybe this can change, or maybe I just went to the wrong school or something like that. But it's a shame I couldn't just take engineering, math, and physics, and that's it. Nothing
We've had
else.
this conversation before.
We
like,
did?
Yeah, we about education and how and
Yeah.
what we feel is structure.
I thought that
the
was-
structure of an education. Should
Wasn't it up until high school? Like I think up
Yeah,
until high
but,
school
I
you should
mean-
learn everything, but once you get to college, you should know. Okay, I want to study engineering. And I want to know everything about physics and math, and I don't want to have to take another English class that makes me write an essay, 8 pages long,
well,
single
but
space.
aren't some of those prerequisites to the major that you want to learn to the
No. Well, yeah, yes, no. I think I had a variety of choices.
well
Or something like
don't
that,
you
like-
don't you have to have some type of
Well, no, you don't have. I think if you pass a certain score or grade in a test, you can only take you only have to take one English course, and I forgot what that was, and then you don't have to take it anymore.
so
But I
you're
didn't-
mad
I didn't pass that.
you're
I
mad
didn't get
because you
that.
couldn't pass that and then you had to actually do it
I
again.
took
like,
English up until my second to last year at SF
gosh,
State.
Keenan,
I was
you are-
taking English classes every year on how to write, on how to. It was mostly on writing too, not so much the spelling of words.
Okay,
and
but
where they
this
come
was
from.
this was not a that was a prerequisite or
Yes,
okay, so
I want to say yes, but it shouldn't. I'm speaking that. I
oh,
don't
you're
feel
saying
like
that
it
you shouldn't
have to be.
But then,
I-
if you have to write your thesis, if you have to write all these things,
Well, see,
how are you going to do that if you don't really have the full understanding of how to do it?
Well, I have a pretty damn good understanding of how to write a paper,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get into a lot of conflict with my own stuff by saying this, but if the message is passed across, like say for instance I say the wrong a word that where its
say the
definition
wrong
was
thing?
not was not correct, but you understood my intention and what I meant. I remember, if I hope I remember this correctly, because my memory was messing up everything, is that one of my English teachers was that the purpose of the written language and what we have as English was to translate something that you say in words so that if you don't say it, you understand fully what that person is talking about on paper. And I think that was in my creative writing class because they're going over, how to write stories and stuff like that. And I got that, and I was like, okay, well, if the person understood what I said, whether I got the definition wrong or not, I pass. It's like a C, C plus. Like they got it, they understood it, and we can move on. We don't need to lecture me on for like 3 more hours and then make me write it 8 times in a row on a chalkboard just so I can get it right the next time. Now, we were growing through technologies with spell check and stuff like
Right.
that, and grammar check and whatnot.
But that only kind of works if you already know what you're trying to do.
Exactly. So
Because if you don't, then like spell check and all these
Yes, if
these
you're
little
illiterate.
widgets are not going to be able to help you. Like,
right. I
and
agree
trust
on that.
me, I know some people who do
I-
not know how to
You
use
spell
it.
check. I know.
Yeah.
I agree on that. And there's been some slip ups with spell check too in the early stages where they would get a word wrong and I totally meant something else or the connection wasn't right. It's not like it was today, but at a certain point, I should have enough knowledge, which I believe I did, to surpass something like you mentioned as a written thesis. And for engineering, I didn't even have to write a thesis. I think the paper that I had to write on my senior project was like maybe 4 or 5 pages long, but with a bunch of pictures and descriptions and graphs and understanding relations to those graphs and stuff like that.
But doesn't that add to the packet?
Yeah, but not significantly as much. And the teacher doesn't really look at grammar and spelling as a grading as an engineer, where you need to make sure your numbers and calculations are right.
That's cool.
And in the end, too, I also noticed when you read these math and physics books, they're wordy as fuck and they're too fucking long. And it's like, it's so unnecessary. And
well, they want to make sure you have the right idea and you have the proper understanding of what they're trying to. I mean, because
believe me, if you read some of those,
is pretty important.
it's important. But I'm telling you, Joe, if you read some of,
do kind of suck to fuck that
hold
up.
the fuck up.
I mean, there are lives at stake
there's
here,
like,
right?
I know, and it's, even the brightest have fucked things up. Like, people
son
have
of a
hired the
bitch.
best and the brightest, and they still mess up. We've had some space shuttles blow up, so not everybody's perfect.
Low blow. Keith.
Is it recent? Did something blow up?
No.
Oh, don't catch your.
I mean,
pronouns.
unmanned rockets have blown up, but I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I have a angst against, companies and institutions only hiring like A+ students, and it's like, come on, some A+ students messed up some shit.
For sure. Sometimes they copied.
And what?
I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna say, and my take on like how I feel about people in the higher ups who like make all these crazy changes, and they're supposed to be in these higher positions and get paid more, but people. Exactly, and they shit on the underlings. But back to the statement was yeah, it is. Yes, we'll get to that. But back on education system, I don't know, I just feel like I wanted more science and engineering technology. I really didn't get the courses on how to build a fucking telephone or how to make a radio, or maybe they assumed you need to know all that shit already. But as I'm making things right now for my business, I didn't pick up any of that shit, as cool
Unique
as they
Designs
are.
by Keenan, by the way.
Yes, Unique Designs by Keenan. None of that stuff. I would say maybe 40, 50. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. 50% of it came from my engineering courses. The other half came from just building shit in the theater department, touching wires together and seeing what happens. Like,
oh, okay.
Some YouTube.
The tried and true way to
I
do
know.
things.
How we first figured out, but YouTube videos, and
So you're basically saying if I want, I could be an engineer. Just as
yes.
easy as you
Let me
could.
tell you a story, and this shows you my ego and tripped out. And a lot of times I feel like the higher you get in your
We know your ego is.
I'm just saying, the education
damaged.
and the smarter you get, the higher the ego starts to become like crazy. I've seen it ridiculously in the engineering department. But here's where I came into my ego. There was a guy upstairs, and I might have mentioned on the show, but he was making bicycles, and he had his own little company at the campus in the engineering department making bicycles and working on wheelchairs.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this conversation. I was like, yeah, I'm an engineer too. And I was like, oh, cool. What engineering classes are you taking? He's like, no, I never took any engineering classes, but I'm an engineer. And that, my mind just went, what just happened? Like, I've never been.
I want to say you,
like that. I think I didn't mention this.
Told me this story.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, so because he didn't have a degree, you were like, no, you're not an engineer.
Not
I'm
a
an engineer
degree.
because I have a degree.
Not a degree. Just he wasn't taking the exact same courses that I was told. That's how you become an engineer. You take these physics and math courses and engineering courses, and that leads you to becoming an engineer. Someone not taking any of that, how are they calling themselves an engineer? You never. How am I going through this gauntlet of equation after equation after equation, and you're not doing any of that, and we're now on the same playing level? It was confusing to me. That's where my ego was like, if you're not doing the same thing I'm doing, but
what
we're
the fuck
equals,
am I doing?
what am I doing? And how?
Now he could do things that you couldn't do, or what?
That is debatable.
Where was your
that would be debatable.
where was your ego struck? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand, because you're saying because he didn't take the classes, he shouldn't be calling himself an engineer, right?
The hierarchy I felt that I had when I was at that campus.
So you were like being a dick. You were being an elitist because
I'm
he
admitting
didn't
to
take
this,
any...
Joe. Don't try to.
I'm just trying to make sure I understand this here. You know,
Don't pin me as a
you were
bad
being
guy.
at the time. You were being an elitist. You're like, yo, you didn't take any engineering classes I took, so you can't call yourself an engineer.
Full on. And I'll give you an example where that is still a little bit in me today, and I'm trying not to be as much as when I hear someone who is an audio engineer or a sound engineer for a record company or something like that, and they're just working on people's music.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, okay, well, cool. You're a sound engineer. What college did you go to? What engineering school did you go to? What uh, books, physics, and math did you learn to become this
Mhm.
audio engineer? No, I didn't take any of those courses. I didn't go to any of those colleges. I just um, worked this uh, board and know how to manipulate this board and mix the sound together and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And my ego again comes in and goes, wait a minute. If you didn't take any of the classes I took or anything related to any of those classes, but you label yourself an engineer, my ego starts inflating. I'm like, how is this possible?
Well, they say that 10,000 hours of work on a specific thing is like getting a master's in something.
Exactly.
So I know plenty of audio engineers who've never taken a class, never gone to school for it,
Hmm.
and they're fucking amazing.
Right.
And then I know those who have gone to school and don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And that's what I'm talking about, building the stuff in the basement, how I'm figuring stuff out and learning more.
So you've been humbled pretty much.
And it's like, why? But then I look back and I'm like, why did I go through 8 years of that schooling to do something that didn't really require as much of it, the heavy stuff? Because I went to the advanced courses, calculus 3, 4, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
You know,
All this.
Northrop Grumman is hiring.
A lot of those places are high. I've been applying to the military industrial complex since I was in college and even after I left. I got in the accurate staging because none of those places were hiring, and I just went off a list of things that I knew how to do, which was building stuff. And accurate starts with A, so
So they were the first
they're
one.
the first
All
one.
access.
That's how I got that. Yeah, and so yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks that, and that's why when we go back to this whole English and courses and being forced. I'm saying forced, but there was a heavy pressure. I want to say I'm forced. There was a heavy pressure to get into this uh, English courses and taking them. And as I'm taking them, like, why am I in here?
Right.
Why am I doing that stuff? I really want to build things and learn how things are made. Some history courses I actually wanted to take, and that was cool. You can choose your history. I was like, oh yeah, I want to learn about, you know, the Roman
Give me a second.
Empire. Uh oh. Oh yeah, and take those courses because for some reason history wasn't as forced upon as English, um, and a lot of those extracurricular stuff. Well, I wouldn't say extracurricular, but things that you think are main courses um, in knowledge wasn't as heavily uh, built upon as English was. For some reason English was like everybody has to take and learn it, and that could be some sort of you know well, I was going to say American thing to make people. You need to learn American English and all its ways and
As
forms.
Rick Sanchez said recently,
Yeah,
you're still taking English? Isn't that the language you fucking
I
speak?
know, right? That's what made me think of it. I was like, yeah, because I feel like once you are able to graduate high school, that should be enough English for you to get around most of the places, right?
Yeah. For most people, it is. I
For
mean,
most people.
I have a high school
Hmm.
English education,
Hmm.
and I think I don't know.
You corrected me all, and you're correct on you correcting me all the time. I just don't know what are you supposed to get out of the college English that really helps the everyday person or even specialists like me. I want to learn chemistry. I want to be an astronomer. I want to learn about the ocean. Like, I mean, now there's names of
Yeah.
animals and it comes from Greek and Roman, but still.
I think for me, even though I only have a high school English education, like I think there's some elements there that kind of helped me because one, I do enjoy English. I enjoy the English language.
Mm,
I mean, it's the first language I ever spoke. But also, like even after high school, if I didn't know a word, I would look it up. I would make sure I knew how to spell it. Like I
hmm.
continued my learning of English even after high school.
And I did that with physics and math,
Mhm.
and I went to a college for that. So, and that's what I'm just saying. I think I was against you before when we had this conversation prior, but now I'm kind of with you, thinking about the past.
You're
Like,
like, huh?
why? Why?
I am right yet
as
again.
as per usual.
Hmm.
Now Joe's ego's inflating.
Unsurprising to me.
Um,
Show me.
has that honestly happened to you before? And this is for anybody who's been listening. If you ran across somebody who are like, as far as labels, and we put labels on people and what they do and everything, has there been a situation where like someone says they are just like you in whatever form? You're like, wait a minute. you kind of quiz them and test them, and then like, wait a minute, no, they're not, but they're calling themselves that.
Mm-hmm.
Has that ever come across you before?
Yeah. That I just had the example of like the audio engineers. Like
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
see that all the time. I see guys who call themselves audio engineers, and they've never taken
Hmm.
a course or a class or anything.
Well, has the ego of Joe ever came out in
Oh,
any of this? I know you're a humblest
for
guy, but
me, it's actually been the reverse. Like I've been in situations where I've been around people who have gone to school, who
hmm
have gone through courses and done all this stuff, and I'm like, all right, dude, you suck. Uh,
so it's
like
a
I've
reverse
been,
elitism.
yeah. I mean, uh, I've just had to give people some humble pie, like
Okay.
because it's weird because I've been in a situation where somebody's like, oh, I went to Juilliard and I studied this and that, and I'm like, then how the fuck can you not write a
Oh yeah.
fucking song? Like what? Like
Yeah.
how do you not know how to harmonize that? Like isn't that like music 101?
Sometimes I see that in
Like
staging.
I see
Yeah.
that shit all the time. Like well, not all the time anymore because
Uh,
I really don't
you don't hang
do
out with those
music
people.
anymore.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I would see that shit all the time. I had a girl, fucking little 19-year-old girl, like, oh, I go to music school. That's how I know everything I know. I'm like, okay, because this song sucks. So I'm glad I didn't go to
Yeah.
music school.
Yeah.
Um, but it's weird. Like, and then I've also been doing it for years.
Mhm.
I was, prior to me stopping like 3 years ago, like I had been doing music since like
Right.
2001, 2002,
Well, is there?
So that's like 15 years of music.
What is the other label for somebody who has learned it on their own rather than going to a university?
Self-taught.
Self-taught. No, I meant like, yeah, because we're doing English here, so I don't know the words. I don't know the words, but no, I meant like, for instance, let's go back to the ego of mine about this guy who calls himself an engineer, and I was like, wait, how are you calling yourself an engineer? What is there another term for someone like that who has learned in a different format but not the exact same stuff? Because the labels that we give each other are all very generic,
Hmm.
and we sort of bundle people in certain categories just so we can put a label on them and say that's what they are. But their method of getting to where they are can be completely different.
I honestly think it's just self-taught.
Mm,
Taught. I
mm.
can't think of an. I mean,
And I'm not knocking people
right off the
who,
bat, I can't. I don't
yeah,
either. I'm not knocking that because you can use that term as like you can embrace it and use it as your power. Like, yeah, you might have spent hundreds of thousands of
hmm
dollars on your education, but I learned this all myself,
right.
and I'm doper than you. Like,
And I'm willing to admit about my ego. I just said it in this show already a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
times. I'm willing to admit that I have an ego when I meet someone like that. Uh, and I'm becoming more understanding with the stuff that I make how you can develop the same education, especially with the internet these days and YouTube and what's the other one for a lot of digital art? Lynda.com, stuff like that, uh, where you can pretty much learn everything you need to. I don't even know if you need to go to college anymore to get the same education. Most of that stuff is posted. Even Stanford and maybe Yale did this, but I know for sure Stanford did. Started putting their college courses online. I remember going to YouTube and typing in physics,
Hmm.
and you can learn the whole course of like physics 101 from Stanford.
Oh, really?
It's crazy. Now, I don't know how much of the information they're putting out there. It might be just the first beginner courses, but they're there. They're boring as hell, and they're 2 hours long, 2 hours plus.
Falling asleep and shit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Have you did
That's
you
my
actually look it
patience.
up? Did you look them up and start? Oh
Oh,
shit.
I haven't been to. It was back when a time I wanted to start a program that one of friends of mine wanted to start back in college when we were struggling trying to learn this information from our teachers. Because a lot of times the teachers can't even give out the information or teach in a way where a lot of us pick it up. I even remember one teacher said, "I don't know too much about this subject, but I'm gonna try my best to have you guys understand it because it's a very difficult subject." And I'm like, "What?" And it was about like how it was implementing math and programming. Like it was weird how that came.
I would have immediately, I would have been like, "Yo, we're paying you, so if you're telling us that you don't know a lot about this, maybe we should get somebody in here who knows what the fuck they're talking about, because we're literally paying you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to learn this shit. So please, sir."
I remember the look on the engineers in the class, and we were looking at it, like, "Wait, what? This teacher doesn't
I
know?"
would have immediately said that shit, especially since I know I'm paying for something. Like, immediately I would have been the guy that'd be like, "Hey, excuse me, prof, doc, I don't know what you want to, mister, whatever you want to call yourself. If you don't know this, please get somebody who does so we can learn this, because this is going to be weird, us learning something from someone who doesn't really know, but they're going to try."
And I'm not ashamed. I got like a D minus. I might even failed that class, but it was very difficult. And the information given out was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm going to try my best. Even the brightest students in that class they weren't struggling, but it wasn't like that. It was easy enough for them to just tell us what the teacher was talking about.
Y'all should have said something.
We should have rebelled and protested.
Absolutely.
We actually did. When Arnold Schwarzenegger was our governor and George Bush Jr. Senior was president, and they were planning on cutting the engineering department to save money. I forgot what crisis we were in, but supposedly the
it was like 2008.
Yeah, before that.
Oh, really?
2006.
Okay.
6, 7, something like that, maybe even 5. But yeah, it was like we're doing a huge budget cut in California, and all these schools are going to start cutting their departments, and we're going to cut. The arts were a big heavy one, and then it was like they were going to cut the engineering department. I was like, the engineering department, the ones that build your bridges and get your car and stuff. And it was like I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of colleges out there, and people can get educations in other countries too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what for whatever reason they wanted to do that to our campus, but obviously it didn't go through, and they let us continue. But it was almost a scare. Teachers were worrying about, are they going to keep their jobs? You're going to keep our courses? Are we going to be able to graduate? All that stuff. And we did marches on campus and stuff like that.
All 10 of you? Like...
yeah.
Got him, yeah.
No, it was a good amount. But yeah, things we protested for, right?
Man, let me tell you. I tell
wild.
you what, brother.
Yeah,
it's wild out there.
Yes, super wild.
It's wild. I know you had a little.
I did, but I have to build. I have to build up to it because I don't want to be coming off as like my own self race hater. Before you, because I
starting it like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure I come off clean.
It's crazy because I mean the last couple of weeks have been nuts. We briefly spoke about it last week. It was very brief, but I mean there's just been it's just been crazy. Like the protests, the scale of the protests, and then I think last night or the night before, someone else was killed.
Yeah,
at a Wendy's. In Atlanta.
Okay, I heard something different.
I think his name was Raymond. Oh, but that happened in Sacramento. But that happened.
Okay.
That happened a couple months ago, actually.
Oh, the person that got hung.
Yeah, the guy.
Oh,
the guy that.
Well,
they're
recent.
saying that
they just found the body.
They're saying he was hung. They saying his body was found hung. I guess the authorities are saying it was a suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are saying that it's a conspiracy. Maybe like he didn't kill himself, but he actually was hung.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know enough about that to actually speak on it because it's I'm just not familiar with it. But I know this thing that happened in Atlanta. I guess this guy fell asleep in his car at a Wendy's drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name. I think it's Raymond.
This was this week. No, last week.
A couple of days ago.
Okay.
So he fell asleep at a Wendy's drive-through while trying to order a burger. I guess he might have been drunk. I'm not exactly sure. And I guess he got into a confrontation with the cops. I just saw a video today where he's speaking to the police, and it seems like everything's fine. Like, and so I don't know. I haven't seen the full body cam footage because I'm sure they haven't released it. But from what I saw, the guy was like coherent. He was like, "Yo, okay, so You're saying I fell asleep over there. I was just trying to get a burger. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. The cop's like, hey, man, I had to wake you up. Then I had to, like, kind of tap you a little bit so you could wake up. Like, yeah, you were there.
So they
And
got close enough to interact with them, but
yeah.
then it escalated from there.
I'm sure. Well, it did escalate because the guy's dead. But
Well, I mean, in that process.
yeah. In the little clip that I saw, the guy was coherent. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm not trying to bother anybody. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here." And then I guess sometime after that video, moments later, must have been they had a little scuffle. I guess they tried to tase the dude. The guy wasn't taking the tase. Another one tried to tase him, and then he started to struggle with the cop, and the cop was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna shoot this dude," because he feared for his life. I'm sure. Yeah, it's crazy. So now Atlanta is burning again. So not all of it, but I know for sure the Wendy's where the guy got shot,
Yeah.
is burnt.
Oh, yeah, of
the,
course. Yeah.
The people in Atlanta burned it, and there are protests for him as well.
Right.
So this thing is like, I feel like now the cops have to walk on eggshells because, protesters are not stopping right now. And now, if another person gets killed, that's just going to continue the protest and potentially continue the riots. I'm not saying I'm against it, but now for sure the cops have to like really watch themselves.
I don't think they will. They were supposed to watch themselves with George Floyd. And look what happened. And I even said I thought it was going to take like months or a year till it died down, but obviously it only took a few days.
It hasn't died down.
No, I just meant like cops
Oh,
shooting
for
people.
cops. Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I knew George Floyd was maybe the tipping point for us, but it's not the tipping point for the police department, especially in a lot of those southern areas or eastern states. I mean, we get it out here in the West Coast too, but
We're
the
gonna
racism
we're
is
definitely gonna see a
hugely
change.
heavy in those southern states.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it'll die down for them anytime soon. Just like we said before, there's probably people watching these videos laughing their ass off and making fun of it.
Absolutely.
Like it's something.
It's not probable. It's fucking happening.
Yeah,
for sure.
more. I don't know what needs to happen, but something extreme to the cops and to the people who are having this heavy amount of racism needs to happen for a real exact change. Like a legit. You want to turn this around 180. Something has to happen to them, because like we said before, if something happens in another city or state, it may not affect somebody else in another city or state who might not care, might not know. Thankfully, this George Floyd has affected actually most of the whole world because there's protests in other
there's
countries.
protests all over the world. Like,
But
it's crazy, and what gets me is like that. I'm really not holding back against people who are saying anything anymore. Like, this is a very clear issue, very clear. I don't think there need to be any lines here. Like, it's pretty apparent what the fuck is happening.
and that's why I asked you and Serge, are there videos of Latin people getting shot by police on camera, or Asian people?
Oh, there are people definitely. There's police brutality videos against Latinos as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not even looking at that right now. Like,
Okay.
because that's not the problem right now. It is the problem.
It just feels
But
like
the
it's
overall
happening.
problem is police brutality. Yes, Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter, people of color matter. Yes, but police brutality is what the fuck is happening right now, above anything else. Because once that stops, then we can address that. That's going to address everything else around it. Because of police brutality, because of racism, there's police brutality.
Right.
But the major step that has to be taken is defunding the police for sure. And I'm over here having arguments with like my own family. Like, yo, shut the fuck up. You're fucking talking bullshit.
Like they want the police,
Like,
or no?
Yes, I understand certain people's arguments. Other people's is just they don't have an argument. It's like it's
Is it going back to like knowledge?
it's all
and
like,
education?
well, the black people do stuff to us all the time. Like,
Ooh.
what the fuck?
Can I add to
What
that
are you?
real quick?
Why are you dividing us on this? Because police are against all of us.
Right.
So why are you fucking trying to draw lines like black and brown? No, we're fucking one.
I have a great example for you and for our audience here. I was just talking to our friend Thomas, and he works at a hospital, and there's these couple Latin girls that work with him at this hospital,
Mm.
and he was having this conversation about the Black Lives Matter, and they were saying one of the reasons why they have difficulty supporting Black lives is they showed him a video of these kids beating up an older Latin gentleman and laughing at them, and then
That
showed,
happens all the time.
and then
dude.
showed a whole nother video of that too. And to add to your comment, those kind of kids don't represent our whole
Exactly.
culture, but these two women saw it and took it as that's who we all are. That's why we can't support.
And that's what. And so, okay, well, that same argument can be used for the police.
Mhm.
So they're saying because these young kids beat up on an older person of your same ethnicity,
Yeah.
that all people are like that. All people, all black people are like that. So then, if one cop is beating up one person, if one cop is beating up your Theo, or if one cop is beating up your uncle, shouldn't that make all cops bad as well? If you're gonna generalize,
Right.
well then let's do it.
Right. Right.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You want to say that one or two bad kids represents everybody? Then do the same for the police.
And I've heard this assumption based off of that theory of the bad apple. You know, one bad apple. People will take something that they see and then again label it, put in a label like, oh, that's who they are. And if you speak to them sometimes individually, like, oh no, I don't really do that, or I'm a nice person. You know, I'll try and get to know the person, something like that. But it's crazy how quick people will group together and put others in a different section away from them. I think it was like not survival of the fittest. What's it called? Where you have to like cling to your own kind. Billy came up with the word or knows the word from a book. I totally forgot.
The hive mentality. I don't know.
Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, yeah. But it was trippy how quickly I saw that when Thomas was telling me this story. Like, wow, they really saw this video and just assumed that we're all like that. And I noticed it for a whole bunch of categories where I feel like I wonder if this is just a human thing that we do, because my roommates who are female will tell me stories about how all men are, you know, pigs or dogs or do something that all men do. And I have to stop and go, all men don't do this to women. You're talking to one right in front of you who don't do that shit. But you put me in that label, in that category until you meet me.
I think honestly, like when first and foremost, that's just ignorance. Especially with the argument that, oh well, these kids did this to this older man and he couldn't defend himself, so they're all like that. Everybody I've seen like that is like that. That's fucking ignorant, and that's one thing. But we can't ignore the fact that, I mean, I'll speak for the Latino community, that they're also racist as fuck
Within each other, right?
Within, yes, exactly. There's a huge issue with. I can't speak for all Latin American countries, but for sure in Mexico, there's like this stigma against people of color. The darker indigenous people get treated like shit in Mexico. Like if you're not of a lighter complexion and colored eyes and so you're kind of frowned upon, and that shit happens all the fucking time. So it's easy like when people from Mexico immigrate to U.S. and see black people and they're like, oh well, they're dark skinned too, like,
exactly,
oh, fuck,
okay,
you know, they're weird too, you know, like, but that's just fucking ignorance, and that's sad. That's sad as fuck, because we shouldn't be thinking like that, especially if most people of color are being oppressed by, you know,
Lighter skinned people.
lighter pigmentation.
What about even other countries within Latin America, like Guatemalans don't like Salvadorians, don't like Chileans?
I can't speak for any of that because I'm not.
Okay.
So I'm not like entirely aware of what that dynamic is.
Okay.
I'm sure it happens. I know it does, because if it happens in Mexico, chances are it happens in other Latin American countries.
And I would only know about Salvadorian since my ex was Salvadorian. She would tell me stories about certain other nationalities within that area conflict with each other just because of where they were born. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. There's like Latin American countries are weird like that.
Yeah. But it shows that it
dogging
happens.
each other. Like it happens here, like between Mexicans and Salvadorians.
Okay, yeah.
Like that shit's that like, oh, you're Salvio, oh,
And you're in
you're
a whole other
Mexican, what the
country.
hell? I'm like,
all
what
of
the
you are.
fuck?
Yeah.
The fuck? What?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna understand why people feel this way. Why they want to divide each other into like their specific nationalities and roles and skin colors and all that shit. Like I'll never understand that because I don't know. I can't. I myself can't be that dude. Like I love everybody. I do. Like I fuck with you. I fuck with anybody that fucks with me.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely don't. I know. It sounds taboo to say it, but I don't see color. Like I don't care what what your skin pigmentation is or lack thereof. Like I don't.
Right.
I don't really care. Show me the person that you are, and that's who I'm fucking with. Not your fucking appearance. Like
Yeah.
I just can't. It's so weird to me. Like I can't. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get that through my head. Like, why do people do this? Like, it's just been weird, the weirdest shit to me because I just don't. I care more about the way the way a person is as opposed to like how they look. I don't know. It's weird to me. Like,
And you watch a lot of History Channel stuff, right? Discovery Channel, History Channel, things about the past.
general history. Yeah.
That's what trips me out is that when you watch, and even in high school when we were learning about the kings and queens of Europe, you'll notice that a slight pattern, if you would say, that the division of race and where you're born has been around since Neanderthals. Like it seems like it is embedded in our DNA and it's inevitable. Like there's never a moment in our human history on this planet where all the tribesmen from one got along with the tribesmen of another. And it's been and it just grows. Now the more people is, the crazier and the more division you can get because people will link up with one another. You can see it in high school when people join cliques and they sit at certain tables of where they're at and they don't mess with anybody else. It's
weird. With me, like I was
with
around everybody. I would go fuck with everybody.
But you definitely noticed the different divides.
Yeah, you could see the divides, of course.
Too.
You could see that, but it's like, well, I don't know about that because my little clique was everybody. Everybody was in the clique. Like, like so.
Except for me, I was in the classroom.
That's because of you though. That's not because of me. But see, even then, like that's why it's like so. Like I understand like racial like I don't animosity. I guess I don't. But I'm never gonna be able to get that through my head. Like
it's gonna
why?
Be a mindfuck trying to come.
Why do people like do this to each other? Like why? When you could just love your brother, love your sister, like. Like to me, Keenan, you're like a brother to me. Like I never even, I'm not like, oh, that's Keenan, my black friend, like,
oh yeah, you're on my emergency contact list.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me to think that like, that somebody will not like you or will not like you because of the color of your skin. That's just crazy to me.
And I feel like it does start with certain stereotypes. Like I think the stereotypes start that stuff,
and it's because of people's ignorance. Because I've never been the dude be like, oh shit, I'm walking towards a dude, I better cross the street. Like never. I've always been the guy that like, if I'm walking and you're coming up next to me and I'm like, yeah, what's up? Hey, what's up? Smile, like, hey, what's up? I always say what's up to every single person who crosses me. Like especially if we make eye contact. Like I'm never gonna be like, oh shit, weird about it. No, I'm always the guy that's like, hey, what up, fam? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I've always been that guy, and it's just like, I don't know what people are afraid of. I don't know why people are afraid of like learning about others. Like it's so weird to me.
Yeah. Oh, it's so heavy.
Even in my own family, that's what's fucked up. Like in my own family, I mean, I don't know about my direct. I don't know about my direct, brothers and sisters, but. Like in my extended like family, my cousins and aunties, uncles, all that shit. Like I don't get it. And some of them have lived here for decades, decades. 3-4 decades of living in the United States of America with other people of color. yet you're still somehow fucking racist. Like,
Tricky.
how?
It doesn't make
How
sense.
does that? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And for some of them, it's like, oh, because I had one bad experience with such and such.
Yep.
So that's gonna ruin it for everyone else. Like, what the fuck? Then I don't want you to be part of my fucking family.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be impacted by one single person that did something to you, then don't be. I will never communicate with you ever again because I don't need that ignorance in my life. I don't need it around my kids. I don't need that shit.
Yeah.
My kids do not know what the fuck that is.
And people should know that that assumption doesn't work out. There's plenty of moments where people probably assume something was totally different and was recorrected, but can never link that. Like, oh, maybe all the other stuff I thought where this one experience happened, it was just maybe that one experience. That's my trivia part, is that they know they've ran into either other people, relationships, things about jobs, things about money, anything you can think of that they assumed was this way and only this way until they hit a wall and they found out that something else was totally true and what they thought before was not, and never went back. Just like, oh no, this happened to this one instance for me now. All the stuff in the past I can still say because that happened, it's legit. And that's weird.
I could say white people are racist,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying all white people are racist. I have some pretty cool white friends.
Yeah.
I'd hope that none of them would be like, oh, that's my Mexican friend Joe. Like, no. I'm hoping that they're like, yeah, that's my friend Joe. Like,
well, it's a shame there's no way, because when even if you say black, white, I think the term, because there's nothing before it or after it, it can feel like it's an all-encompassing word because it's just that word. For me, I try best to say some, most, a good amount, plenty, or even better, the ones I've met or the ones I've interacted with, such and such and such and such. Because then I think, this is really bad of me to say, but then I think you can be a little bit racist because it's only based on who you've met and saw personally, which means you can't categorize anybody else but the ones you ran into. And I'll give you a great example, Joe. And this is what I was leading to earlier. You okay? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I was at Slauson and Crenshaw at a Bank of America ATM. I pull up.
That's your first mistake. You were at a Bank of America. I mean,
I thought you were gonna see Slauson and Crenshaw. See, that's how bad I am. What the fuck? That's so bad. No, yeah, I was at a Bank of America. Fuck you, Bank of America. No.
give me my money.
So I go in line to the ATM. This car pulls up, not in a parking spot. He pulls up right next to the ATM, gets out of the car, and I don't pay fully attention until this is what he does. There's a line. He goes up to the opposite side of where the line is at, waits for one of the people to leave the ATM, walks up to the ATM, cuts everybody in line, does his shit, and then gets back in his car and drives off. His stereotypical outfit was wife beater shirt, all tatted up, buzz haircut, pants below his ass, like his waistline of his pants started below his thigh, socks and flip flops, and I see that. And then to add the fact of his mannerisms of just
add insult to injury, is that what you're
yeah, I'm just making shit up along, but I'm seeing this go down, and in my mind, I'm thinking, this is one of the reasons why people are assuming the way we are, because they'll see that and label that as, oh, look, I've seen it and I witnessed it. He's acting like it. That's what you all act like. And even myself, I'm conflicted in my brain. It's like, we're trying to do better. We've been since trying to do better. And I try to do better myself personally. Yet here's this guy who's fitting the racial stereotype of what we are being labeled. And I try so hard not to act like that, not to look like that, but also while still retaining my identity as a black man in America. But it becomes difficult because if I do that, I become more onto the white side than I do become with my own ethnicity.
Yeah, but that's also what kind of society has brainwashed you to think. Like, because I can see a white woman, I don't know, at a liquor store and be like, "Oh, here's a Karen. It's about to go down," because that's what they're calling white women now.
Karens
Who get it,
now.
who
Yeah.
get into their into other people's business and
Right.
talk that shit. They're calling them Karens. But I know that not all white women are Karens. There's some pretty cool white women. So I'm not about to stereotype one woman and say all white women are like this. Like,
Right.
no. So you just have to be like, well, he is what he is. Like,
Well, I saw
because
it-
I see cholos all the time,
doing something
and
like
they're
that.
cholos.
Yeah.
Like, they're fucking, baggy pants, bald heads,
I just wish.
talking that shit. I'm not be like, oh, fucking all Mexicans are like this dude, because then that would make me a fucking cholo. Like, I'm not that dude.
I just think that there's. I don't know. I just think that there's a. I don't know if that's
You've been
a real.
indoctrinated to feel that way,
I don't know.
especially because potentially you're a light skinned brother.
Or I just wish it. Anybody there that did that, I would have had the same nasty attitude towards them. I can't
so
believe
if there
this
was
person.
a Mexican dude,
I would have been like,
did
this
that,
dude
like,
just
whoa.
cut in line and like didn't see everybody, and I was cursing this guy out in my head, and then just the added feature that he happens to be a black dude, I was like, this really sucks. I wish he wasn't a black guy, so that
wish he was anything else but a black
yeah,
guy.
so that it doesn't perpetuate somebody who isn't me, who won't pick up the same attitude, and we'll just assume that that's what we all do. For me, I'm seeing some asshole doing some asshole shit who just happens to be black, and I'm going, fuck, this is now making me look bad.
It's not making you look bad. It's
It
making
can.
that person look bad.
It totally can, because anybody else who sees that happen can see me doing the same thing, and that's obviously their fault.
And that's the same thing that I could say about cholos. Anybody
Yeah.
who sees a cholo doing some shit could look at me and be like, "Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but
I don't give a fuck."
but
Fuck
I don't
that
find
person.
that
they
to
don't
be-
fucking know me.
Yeah, that I just don't find like that mentality should be acceptable if we're already under a microscope.
Yeah, but it's not your duty to tell that dude like, "Hey, don't be fucking ignorant."
We've been doing that for years, though. Our grandfathers would tell us that.
Exactly.
Our fathers would tell us that.
What is your duty is just to do the right thing.
And that's my only way of, I guess we call it self-protesting,
Yeah.
is to not fit the stereotype that people assume that I am.
Oh, nobody's assuming you're anything. Here.
Oh, you don't think so? Lies.
Brother. Ain't nobody looking at you like that's a gangster right there. Fuck that. I'm crossing the street.
Okay, that is super funny. However,
However,
as long as I don't open my mouth, because there was two.
you'd be like, "What up, cut?" Like, what? No.
I did it twice. I did that once. No, but there was a moment in college. I had on a heavy jacket. It wasn't that cold, but I could see why there was no need for a jacket. But it was chilly for
Who
me.
cares? Who cares what you were wearing?
Well, here's the thing about stereotype. I was wearing that, heavy jacket that you see on a P. Diddy video back in the 90s. And I'm walking up to go to the grocery store in this, nice neighborhood by our college campus. And these two white girls get out of the car. They pull up in front of me about maybe 20, 30 feet. They see me walking. And they get out of the car, and then they start walking in the same direction I am. I don't think, and I don't believe, I know I wasn't pacing myself faster when I saw them, but they turned around and saw me as I was walking straight. I didn't smile, I didn't wave. Maybe I should do that, whatever, it doesn't matter. But as they turned around and saw me, they turned back and then walked faster. So, and there has been several other cases where people just cross the street as I'm walking down the same sidewalk. So there has been cases for even someone like me, again, based off of just the way I look and sometimes the way I dress, that people will just assume I fit like everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I mean, your comedic bit was funny. I get it, but it's us. We know who I am. They don't know me, and that's the real problem. They just don't know, and it sucks that they have to know you to change their attitude and minds.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
You're fucking right about that.
Yeah.
I've had dudes call me wetback. Like, the fuck?
Yeah. Like,
I've lived here my whole life. I was born here. How the fuck am I a wetback?
doesn't. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, like, they don't fucking know me, and I don't give a fuck.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, man.
And that's the thing. Maybe
We're getting pretty heavy here.
dicks, ass, pussy. No. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe
It's funny that you went with dick first. But, all right, go ahead.
Go ahead. That's because I have a hard on right now.
Hey.
I don't know why, but seeing Joe get all adult on me, it's kind of not as kidding.
Where's Philly when you need
I
her?
know. Come back. No,
No,
no, it's just see, if we joke, it throws me all off. I can't be serious and funny instantaneously.
Yeah, you can.
It
You can do
hurts.
anything you want.
Can I?
Yes.
Oh, I can learn English.
Anything you can do, you can do it.
Ah,
I don't know. That's
no. But
Continue.
the second thing that led up to, I think, this whole conversation that I said prior to the show starting was as I drove up to Joe's house, I was on Western, and a bunch of cars were stopped in the street, and a bunch of people on the side of the road on, I think it was not Manchester, Washington and Western.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a protest, a Black Lives Matter protest. People were getting out of the cars. I think they were going to storm the streets. And I was like, okay, I get it. There's a protest. I didn't know there was going to be one on the street. I have in my mind, I have a place to go to. I really want to be there. I want to be on time. I want to be proper, blah, blah, blah. It would have been nice if I just got here. But it's a Black Lives Matter protest. This is great. I'll just turn around. I won't be like honking my horn or anything like that. But then I see these cars doing donuts in the stereotypical, 64 Chevy and Impalas and stuff like that, like almost like one of those car shows out in the middle of the street with people with cameras filming. And I didn't see a lot of Black Lives Matter signs, protests, anything like that. So I was like, what's going on? I was a little upset because I was like, this is not...
This
or
is
does,
not what...
It doesn't seem like it's for a cause. It doesn't seem like it's for a purpose. It just seems like you're just trying to... I don't know if it's to get attention to the Black Lives Matter. I didn't know the purpose of why this was going on. It almost felt, sadly, very sadly, I'm admitting to this, it almost felt like they were using the angst of the movement and protest to do certain things. AKA like a lot of the riots that were happening to businesses that didn't need to be rioted, stuff like that. And I got kind of a little upset that was happening.
Maybe they were just having a sideshow.
And they could have been having a sideshow, as Joe was saying, but there's Home Depot parking lots for that.
Wow. Wow.
And I say that because they do that at my Home Depot by my house every month on a Friday or Saturday at night.
We run these streets.
Oh my God.
Come on, get it together.
I never even asked them to. Home Depot seems to be totally cool with it. You see all these donut screeches, and I was there at one show, and there was tons of people everywhere in this Home Depot parking lot on Slauson and Western, right in that shopping center with Food for Less. Big old parking lot for them to do that, especially on the side by the train tracks. And I was like, wow, you guys don't stop them or do anything? Like, it's not in here? And they're like, no. I was like, okay. That was interesting.
They didn't call the cops?
No.
Look at that.
This was before a lot of stuff, but I don't know.
How long ago?
Ooh, must have been 4 or 5 years.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's a very weird time, man. It's a very weird time.
Yeah. I want to say respect. I get the whole driving with your cars and showing off and stuff like that. I've been in those situations where they take up the whole entire street and they're just driving slow. But I don't know. I don't know if I feel like, this is me personally going, if that's necessary or helpful. Like, there's ways to show off your car that doesn't have to mess with other people in society who don't know who you are or don't know about how fun it is to have a low rider with hydraulics on it. I mean, they look cool and they're great, but there's been plenty of times in my life where I'm trying to go see my grandfather or something like that. Now, he lives in Compton, and I used to live in Compton, and I go there too. But it's like you're blocking off. You're literally doing what they do for like funerals, where they block off the traffic just so you can show your cars down the street for, I don't know who wants to see it. I mean, there's tons of car shows and stuff like that. Us commoners that work every day.
Angry and irritated.
As the ambassador of the white community on the show.
Jeez. No.
I am irate.
Going to throw that out the door now, buddy. Good buddy.
Yeah.
It's, man.
But it's crazy. I've listened to a few of our previous episodes, and it's trippy to hear us talk about how there's nothing that's gonna get the whole country to
Right, right. Here it
get
is.
something.
Huh. Mouth shut.
I saved it. I timed it and saved
Did
it.
you?
Just so I can play it.
Man, like it's
Both of us agreed to it and said it. Nothing
like,
will happen in the
there's
United States
Nothing that can happen.
to unanimously unite people.
Well, technically, we're still not completely
I understand.
united.
Yes,
Like
yes.
this is a big cause and it's a big change, but to start a revolution,
Oh yeah, okay.
there isn't. I mean, it hasn't happened yet.
Where we're
you know.
yeah, where we take over radio stations and
You know,
news stations.
take small.
Yeah.
You know, take small wins here and there.
Mhm.
You know, the battle isn't over. The war isn't over.
Like you said, if it gets crazier, what do we do now? As you and me, you have a family.
Mhm.
You know, I have a PlayStation 4. Like, what do we do to keep ourselves?
You have a PlayStation?
Oh, Joe, let me borrow it.
No. Just
But
all
like,
kidding aside.
yeah,
here.
if it gets really serious, I mean, what do you tell your kids? How do you protect your kids?
I
How do you
mean-
stay alive? Do you even help out? Do you not help out? Like, and when I mean gets more serious, I mean more. Let's say more shootings happening, and then it gets crazier and crazier as that happens for the protests.
I honestly don't know. Like if it gets hotter here in the city, then
Yeah, like end of Westworld kind of thing. Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
You're fine.
Well,
That was a crazy ending, though.
but like that.
But I don't know. That's a battle that'll have to be fought when it gets here. Like,
Hmm.
obviously, I will keep Gav informed. Like,
Does it scare you a little bit?
he can understand
Uh.
pretty much. It doesn't scare me. Like, I mean, I have a bunch of swords, so if it goes down, it's gonna go down.
And you're welcome for at least 2 of those.
Okay.
Oh.
You're welcome for all the shit that I
Oh.
bought you too. So whatever.
Giving your life back. Speak of the
Yes, bud.
devil, or the awesome devil with the cool fake sword. Oh, I thought that was a pose. You did? Oh,
Good job.
nice.
Gavin beat Modern Warfare.
Hey,
Everybody heard it here
Gulag
first.
boys. Let's do it.
He beat the campaign.
Hey,
He's done it.
what a crazy campaign. War, too. My
Yeah.
God. Oh, nice.
Tight, buddy.
World War II. Wow.
Yeah. So
What was that? 20, 60 years ago?
World War II was 60 years ago, Keenan.
Yeah, 2020 minus 20 is 2090. And then from 90 to 40. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. See, this is why I should have strictly studied math and physics and not English and any of those other core quote-unquote curriculums in college.
Jeez.
It was horrible. Anyway,
Absolutely horrible.
it didn't seem like
I
it was
guess you
that
didn't
long
take
ago.
those math classes either, did you?
Zing.
You were focused on
Set my-
English that you forgot to do the math. Huh?
It comes in and it kind of kicks some other stuff out as I learn it. Yeah.
I thought a brain had unlimited potential. Like,
Does it? I don't know. You think it?
I don't know how true because I don't I'm not a scientist. But how true that
I think there's
that
more.
statement that we
Yeah.
only use 10% of our brains is.
I mean, there's a lot of core functions we have to know and do just by moving our own fingers. That's a lot of.
That's muscle memory, right? And what are they
I know,
call it something? They call it like
self-programming power.
sleeping, like I don't know what it's called, but motor function. I don't know.
Sounds
what
like
it's
motor function.
I can't remember what it's called.
Like
but
there's a
like
technical term?
breathing, we don't even think about breathing. We just breathe.
We just
We
do
know
it.
how to breathe.
Yeah.
We just,
But our
our
brain
brain
probably thinks about
automatically-
breathing.
our brain automatically knows that
Mhm.
hey, your body's supposed to do this.
Right.
Blinking, we don't think about blinking. We
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah. And that could take.
Snorting mass amounts of cocaine, we don't think about it. We just do it. You just smoking tons and tons of weed. Some people definitely aren't thinking about it. They're just fucking chiefing. You tap into different things,
Yeah. I was going to say that probably takes a lot of processing power anyway. We don't even know it. Maybe blinking takes up like 5%. I mean, The way you're looking at me is like, Keenan, you're fucking crazy. I get it. I just meant like, because we don't fully know about the brain, there is a possibility that a lot of it is used for just some basic things that we take for granted. That's all I'm saying.
I can see that.
Possibly.
Yeah, I
Possibly.
mean, yeah, you're not. I'm not saying you're wrong because, again, I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't
I
be able
am.
to refute that. Hardly.
So,
my guy.
Good segue for Joe then. PlayStation 5.
Did you watch Future of Gaming?
What's that?
You didn't watch the Future of Gaming, Keenan?
That sounds familiar.
It was the whole digital conference that they did on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Oh no, it was on Thursday. On Thursday, where they did the
Thursday?
reveal of PS5 and everything.
I think I was building something on Thursday.
Jeez, you missed the whole thing.
I did.
They did the previews of all the games that are coming out.
I think I'm just old.
And then they did the unveiling. Oh, jeez.
Well, I just know that when it comes out, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to play the games, and I'm going to like the games when I see it, review it, or whatever. When they come out, I don't like it when they show me shit like fucking Elder Scrolls showed us their piece of their game last year. It's not going to come out till 3 years from then. Come on. I'll wait till it's on the shelf and in my fucking hands, and then I'll be excited.
I guess you've never backed a project on fucking
Kickstarter,
have you?
Oh, I did. For your birthday.
That shit fucking takes forever. What do you mean for my birthday?
Your PlayStation 4 for your birthday. We did a Kickstarter
That's not
campaign.
a Kickstarter.
What was it?
That was a GoFundMe.
Whatever, same thing. Tomato, potato. I mean,
It's not the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I've backed multiple different because I love video games. So I think I've backed maybe like 4 or 5 video games.
Did you get your name in one?
Yeah, my name, my image.
Yeah, awesome.
And most of the time those games don't come out for like 3 years, 2-3 years. I think one of them I had to wait like 4 years for it.
Yeah.
And I backed it, and I backed it like in 2016, and it barely came out like end of last year, or maybe the beginning of this year. I can't remember. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What do you feel like if?
I don't mind waiting for the games.
Oh, okay. But do you feel like it won't be completed unless you do participate in some form or fashion?
No.
Okay.
No. I just like it, so why not invest in something that I like?
I don't know.
I mean, I get a free game out of it, what's cool?
I was thinking of something really horrible right now.
What?
Like doing like Kickstarter, GoFundMe for like porno or strippers.
I think those are called OnlyFans.
Oh, that's right. That is. That's probably
Patreon,
OnlyFans.
Patreon, whatever that shit is.
I don't know. I thought that was stupid and silly. Investing in something you care about. And I was like, oh, I care about strippers. Maybe I should.
Maybe there is
invest
OnlyFans. There you go. You're paying for them, to keep you happy.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay, so
it's not like unheard of.
Okay, well, I thought I was being funny. Fuck it.
You are being funny, yeah.
Okay. Suck these balls. PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5.
Okay.
Holy shit, man.
Nobody likes video games at this point. Fuck you. Go, Joe. Let's get your thoughts on
Jeez. Okay, so
looks. We all know that you can't judge a book by its cover, but we can now on this console.
I actually
like
how it looks.
You like the memes?
I mean,
ISR?
look, man, look at the third generation PS3. It's a fucking it's weird looking.
Yeah.
And the PS5 looks better than that.
Oh yeah.
Look at the original PS3. It was basically like the Superdome. It looked like the Superdome.
It did.
I mean, it looked weird. I mean, I thought the PS4 design was like super sleek. It was very simple, and some people didn't like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why not
whatever
go
we
with
have
something
now?
like fucking that looks like a fucking router? Why not? Fuck it.
It does look like a router.
I'm not mad at it. I like the way my router looks. Like, fine. Why not? Look, you guys want a fucking little fucking box? Literally, the Xbox released a box. Like, what?
Go figure.
The fuck?
Nailing that on the head, aren't they?
Like,
New Xbox box.
Like, what? I wonder what the box for the Xbox box will look like. Like, what?
It'll be a cube,
Like,
or a
dude,
dome.
that's exactly what it's gonna be like. But the fucking Xbox X
Look like
whatever
shit.
looks.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking box.
Yeah.
Literally.
People can make and are making like.
It looks like my subwoofer. Like, what the fuck? Look at that shit. If I wanted a fucking PC, I would have gotten a PC because that's
Yeah.
literally what the fuck it is.
Have you? Oh, I wish I knew the name of this subwoofer. There's this really cool subwoofer that this guy did an unboxing theory. It's like this white, futuristic. It looked like a little ball at the front, and it had this. If it looked like, I wish I could find it. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, if the video game systems like that. Mwah, that was pretty awesome looking. Futuristic stuff.
Again, I'm not mad at the PS5 looking the way it does because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be innovative. You're
yeah,
supposed to like. I mean, if we're trying to establish a future like we see in the fucking movies, fucking do something towards that.
Make
like,
it floating. Ooh,
yeah, that would be fucking sick.
Because we got those floating bamboo stuff.
Yeah, but where's the what's that? What am I thinking? Where's the practical use of that?
Yeah, a floating one.
Yeah, what's practical about that?
Cool.
Yeah, but
come on, tell me you wouldn't buy a floating video game system.
I wouldn't.
Oh, fuck
I mean, if they made it, I probably would, but
whatever. You'd be like, Keenan, come over, look how.
But
high
there's
it
so
floats.
many consoles that why would I want that? Like,
yeah.
I mean, if the PS6 was floating, then maybe I.
Are you just a PS fanboy?
I am. I love
You're
Sony.
You're a Sony fanboy.
I love the play. I got the PlayStation when it came out. I got the PlayStation 2 when it came out. I got the PlayStation 3 when it came out. The 4 wasn't any different.
Did you ever get the handheld stuff, the PSP or the
PSP,
Vista?
the Vita? I have the PSVR. Like I got the
You are.
I got the PlayStation Vita TV.
I'm surprised you don't have T-shirts and underwear in PlayStation.
I have some PlayStation shirts, of course.
Okay. Damn. Did you ever get the PlayStation magazine back in the day?
I used to get the PSM.
Yeah.
Like I'm a PlayStation guy. I fuck with PlayStation. Like it's never done me wrong.
He literally fucked it. He put a hole in one of them and just fucks it.
I don't need to because one of them had the
vibrating,
the CD sliding one. So I just open it a little bit, slide it right in there.
Your dick is that thin?
I mean,
you can flatten it between your hands.
I was gonna say something really wrong.
Oh really? Oh please, come on. Can you like mime it so I can see it?
I was gonna say if it fits, it belongs there.
No disrespect to women out there.
Not at all. No, not at all. Come on. Hey,
but come on, you gotta laugh sometimes at yourselves and whatnot.
But yeah, dude, I fucking love all PlayStation things.
Okay, so there, I guess, so the only thing that would actually disappoint if it was like some aesthetically non-functional floating PlayStation.
Yeah, I think if they overdid it and it had a huge price tag because it floated, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like why? What? That's disrespectful to the consumer, man.
I'm surprised it never went like holographic, or something that's like.
Maybe the what do you mean? Like, because they have the VR, the PSVR.
VR, but I mean, like, say for instance, it came with like two pieces: one the console, and then this big cubed clear box. And you put the box on top of the system, and there's a projector, and it'll project an image inside that box that's holographic.
And what's the practical use for it? Like,
well, you can. I don't know. I'm like,
you play the game, and then it gives you like a HUD. On the holograph,
or you can walk around it. Like you can put the system. Now you don't need a TV. You put the system right here. You put the box. On top
that's a
of
game changer. Yeah, of course I would get that.
And then you can just walk around and stuff.
Yeah, I would get that. Hell yeah.
But the idea of it.
But it has to be like I don't know because that feels like it'd be a one trick pony.
Okay.
Like it shows you a holograph and you can walk around it, but what else does it do? Like, what else is it going to do? Is that the only thing I'm going to be able to do with it? Like,
well, I was thinking like with the invention of the TV, it only did one thing, which is
but it shows you a bunch of different images.
Well, so does this video.
It takes you on adventures.
Oh my god! Don't challenge
me. What with this
me.
little hologram?
It does everything.
What is everything?
You can see a.
Flesh this out, Keenan. We're having ideas here. Flesh it out. Come on. What does it give? Give it to me.
Oh, I'll give it to you right here.
Pitch it to me. Come on. What else does this holograph thing do but show you an image and you can walk around it?
Well, you can. Okay. Say, for instance, there's an object hidden that you can't see in front. You could literally lean over and see that object. or other people can see the different angles and help you out with that. Or like if you're playing a game like Battleship or chess, you can now do that instead of on a flat screen. You have this sort of cube holographic image of an actual
So it plays mini games.
board games. You can do board games.
So how much
like
am I
Risk
paying
or
for
something
this
like that?
thing?
Or what if you're doing multiplayer, and what it does is it divides it up so you can sit on different sides of the cube and only see your section. I'm trying, Joe. Fuck you. What if I say that in the meeting, in the pitch meeting, to my investors?
The look on your face when you said that is fucking priceless.
Oh, really?
I'm trying, Joe. Fuck you. That'd be fucking hilarious if you're at like a board meeting and you're trying to present the shit and the fucking people at the meeting are just gotta have like a fucking look and you're like, look, I'm fucking trying, all right?
Fuck you.
Oh, it's like, it reminds me of that scene in Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah?
After the caper, after the heist.
Oh, okay.
When he goes to Netflix and he's trying to explain to them like his idea for the movie.
Oh,
and he's
shit.
like, and then they like, and then they get the thing, and but then there's a whole other villain, and then like, but then he's like, and the guy's like, listen, kid, if you think you're losing us, I mean, no, please keep going, you got us. He's like, no, I think I'm just gonna go home and just go on adventures with my grandpa. That was that look. You were like realizing that maybe this was not as fleshed out as you thought it was.
I don't know. I think holographic shit is cool. Fuck you. I'll tell you. I don't know. Maybe I don't know something about technology. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Okay, how is a holograph gonna I don't know.
Maybe
Like,
just cool looking. Have you been to? Okay, there was a project. There was a device at Best Buy that was a speaker, and they were showing how it could be played when it gets water splashed on it or something like that. So the speaker was in this cube display, and you would see a holographic water splash on this device and other stuff. And I walked around it to either side, and you can still see it as if it was like a real thing. And I was tripped out, like, wow, what a nice evolution of display.
what a cool gimmick, because that's really what it is, just a gimmick.
Isn't everything a gimmick?
Not everything. I mean,
Aren't you a gimmick?
the soundbar is pretty practical. It's a fucking soundbar that could emulate surround sound. That's pretty practical. That's not a gimmick.
Okay, pick something
a
else.
console is pretty practical. That's not a gimmick.
Well,
that's basically a computer that can
now
that
it
you can play.
is,
Yeah.
but when it first came out, it was totally a gimmick. Games, even video games themselves, were seen as a gimmick in the 80s when they were just coming out with Atari and arcades and stuff like that. And then it developed into something you now know, which is this. What if my holographic thing was just a gimmick, and then as it developed later on, when people use it and like it and we can invest more, we can't just jump to the ending spaceship without building a fucking car. Fuck you. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna sound like
Hey, man.
I'm getting angry. His son is in the other room. Did he text you?
You know
like,
what?
Daddy?
That was really good, actually. You're right.
Okay.
Eat my dick, because the way that you're presenting it is a fucking gimmick. But video games were misunderstood. It's not that they were a gimmick. They were just misunderstood.
You're misunderstanding me.
The fucking water on the fucking speaker, that's a fucking gimmick. There's a very, very clear difference between a gimmick and something practical.
Oh, I'll show you.
Water on a speaker is not fucking practical. That's just a gimmick. You're just paying extra so that the water could look like it's everywhere.
Oh my god. That technology can be used for theme parks, for entertainment.
But what it's being used for is a
Entertainment.
fucking gimmick.
Agree to disagree. No, I disagree.
No.
Fuck you, Joe. I'm
That's
sticking
a
to my
gimmick.
stance.
That's a gimmick. That's
It's
a gimmick.
not. We're gonna have a vote to it in the audience. If you're listening, me and Joe argue. Fuck Joe.
If you believe Keenan's idea is a gimmick, dial 1.
Now I'm gonna hate you for life.
If you think
do.
mine is practical, dial 2.
And if you think my gimmick will turn out to be something practical after it's been analyzed and used in productivity and money and investing over a series of years and time of people,
That's not what we're
improving it,
arguing, though.
I'm
That's
saving,
not what we're arguing.
I'm saving my grace because
Oh
if
my
something's a
gosh.
gimmick it can turn into not a gimmick later on in life.
How is the water thing on a speaker gonna develop into something
I
else?
don't know. Right now, I don't know. Who knew that the
Nobody's
transistor
saying
would
that.
turn into a computer?
Nobody is saying that holographics can't be used for practical uses. I'm saying that the fucking water on a fucking speaker, a holographic image on a speaker because of the bass vibrations, that's a fucking gimmick.
That's an early. You're seeing the Bell telephone right now with that speaker.
That is not no motherfucking Bell telephone.
And then it will later turn into a fucking Samsung Galaxy.
You know what's more practical than that?
Oh God!
I'll tell you what's more practical than that.
What are you doing?
We're talking about holograph. So what's more practical than that little water bullshit sub-base shit is the little fucking that little fucking rod that goes back and forth really fast.
Suck a dick.
That shows the time.
That's a low blow, Joe.
That's practical.
That is not. What are you talking about?
Because it's doing something. It's showing you the time.
The fucking holograph can show you the time.
The water holograph?
Yeah. It can show you the time. It can show it's a TV without a TV being on the wall.
But you said it was fucking water.
Well, okay. For the display of the speaker, what they were using it for was water. Like it.
See, you didn't say that. You didn't say that
Yes,
it had
I did.
multiple applications.
I gave you an example of its first application of what it was used for.
You didn't
and
say
you took it
the
as
first
that's
thing.
the only thing
You
it
didn't
does.
say that. You didn't say it does more.
Joseph.
Hold on. We're talking
Wait.
to the wrong guy here.
Wait.
Ain't no Joseph
No.
here.
Joseph Marvin Castellanos.
I'm not fucking Joseph, so you're talking to the right guy. Wrong
Wait.
guy. I'm not
I
fucking
thought it was
Joseph.
short for
No,
Joseph.
it's Joe.
Straight up?
You've known me fucking too. Oh my God, Keenan.
I did it again. I love it. I know what to press on you.
Motherfucker.
What's your birthday again?
Eat my dick. That's when my birthday is.
Okay, fine. So now you know the new information. It does more than splash water on a speaker. It's okay. It's a
What else did
TV
it do?
without the TV. Well, that's
So it actually plays like actual movies? and
it
stuff?
can. I saw some sort of logo or name spin around in 3D or whatever. But the point is, it's basic. It's the beginning. It's the beta or alpha or whatever you want to call it. The chroma. I don't know what it is, but the fucking horse carriage to a fucking Tesla. That's what we're looking at here for holographic technology. We're looking at
On a subwoofer?
a horse carriage. I'm metaphorically speaking here. Yes, on a subwoofer.
No, I'm sure holographs have done a lot more than
Well,
that.
maybe I'm pretty sure Disney's got something like
Of course
mad
they
crazy
do.
that you can actually touch and
You
feel.
can go to that theater on Hollywood Boulevard. They have that holograph theater.
What theater? What?
Yeah.
There's a holograph theater. There's a theater dedicated to holograms
Yes.
in Los Angeles.
Yes, that have shows.
What?
Yes.
You never told me about this.
Oh my gosh.
You're supposed to be.
You're
supposed to
over
be my
here
friend.
amazed by a fucking holograph
Buy.
that does little fucking water splashes. Gosh.
Oh shit!
Gosh, Keenan.
You're welcome. So there's this thing it's in Hollywood Boulevard. How far is it from?
It's a
the Scummy
hologram.
Villainy?
Not far actually.
Ooh, nice.
It's called it's called Hologram USA. I don't know if it's closed down now,
Okay.
but it's called Hologram USA. And then it does hologram images of like dead artists,
Oh, okay.
and it's a show. Like,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, like the Michael Jackson thing and the Tupac thing.
Tupac. I think they have a Billie Holiday one.
Now, see, with
like,
that, okay. 'Cause
that's a hologram.
Yes, I'm just technology-wise of how they produce that hologram. It's to me, I'm seeing a more elaborate version, and I guess they all are. So I don't need to be picky. I'm just saying the Pepper's Ghost. Pepper's Ghost is really the original hologram kind of thing, which I think Disney actually was the first to create something like that.
Okay, what's the
No,
Pepper's Ghost?
not Disney. Sorry, I think I'm getting that fucking wrong.
What's the Pepper's Ghost?
Pepper's
not
Ghost
familiar.
is where.
Or maybe I'm just not by name.
Well, no, you do. Yeah, well, I want to say you do. It's where someone's hiding behind. There's a divider, and there's one person on a divider in a mirror, and then on the other side of the divider, there's you there's another person who's looking into this glass that's at an angle,
Mm-hmm.
so they can't see the mirror and they can't see the person.
Right.
But when they're looking at this glass that's at an angle, they see the other person behind the wall as if they're standing
Disney
right.
Disney does
That's
it
what's
at
Disney. Oh.
the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, they do. They took it and they went crazy
Yeah,
with it.
they do it at the Haunted Mansion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the early. That's the invention of that kind of stuff. And for the Tupac and the Michael Jackson stuff, it's a big mesh screen that they kind of do, and I believe it's like either projected from underneath the floor onto a glass so you don't see it, so it's there.
But it's just so detailed that it looks.
Looks
real.
fucking real from whatever angle you're at.
Disney did it because their shit looks real because it's a fucking mirror, so you're literally seeing an image of
a real person,
or a animatronic or whatever they use,
Yeah. So I just think that the cool thing about
it's called the Pepper's Ghost.
I think it's Pepper. I'm gonna get it wrong.
Oh no,
it's something's Ghost.
Yeah.
Pepper's
That's
Ghost.
cool.
I really think it's Pepper's Ghost.
We'll look it up.
And the guy who invented it like long ago. The thing I was thinking about when I saw it Best Buy was that it's.
Why'd you put that in quotation?
Because I feel like you're gonna give me shit.
Best Buy.
Basically,
Boo 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 boo.
they had it's like a home version of this elaborate device. Obviously, it was displayed for advertisements reasons, but I thought it was cool that they advanced it a little bit, so they're using the whole Pepper's Ghost in a way that I haven't seen before, which I thought was kind of cool. And I was like, oh, they can do so many things with this. I was taken in my mind of the element of this for video games. Oh, look how cool we can see and almost touch and walk around this thing in a store in broad daylight, because this is a projection. A lot of light bouncing and interacting with each other in daylight is very hard to see. Like trying to look at your phone, looking at projections on walls and stuff like that. Here's a three-dimensional object in brightly lit room, clear as day, as if it's a real object in this box. And I thought, what if they took that to video games and movies?
The
only
way that I can see a hologram being practical in a video game if it's fully submersive,
like the whole room,
like it takes over the whole room and then you're in it.
And we're saying that and that's a possibility, but we got to start from somewhere
with a little chess set, hologram chess set that you could just play, and then maybe you could do checkers too. I don't know. Maybe you could do Mancala.
Oh my god!
Who knows? Maybe Battleship, but definitely not Connect 4 because that would take too many elements.
You know what? Look at the original Mac and Microsoft. Okay, see how
Battle
that
Chess?
went.
Oh, Battle Chess was the shit on Mac. You remember that? The Macintosh?
I vaguely do. Those early
Battle Chess
games
was the shit. It was animated, like you move your piece and then the fucking chess piece would like start moving
and you're
around.
like, oh, that's so cool.
Cut the head off. I was like, oh my god, this is the best chess game I've ever played in my life. That really got me into chess. Fucking
It did?
Battle Chess. Yeah.
How
Battle
are you
Chess was
as a chess master?
I'm not a chess master
No?
whatsoever. I'm not even intermediate. Like
Oh, okay.
I'm okay.
But you like the idea of the game.
I
or
love the
challenging
idea of
strategy.
chess.
Okay.
Like I love the concept of chess. Just trying to be 2-3 steps ahead of your fucking opponent.
Okay.
Trying to figure out what your opponent's gonna do, and you have to be practical and you have to strategize as well, because if you can make one wrong move, that queen will fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
So I love chess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like anything that almost anything that's competitive.
What's the one thing that's not?
Physical activities. I'm not really. I'd
see
rather
on-
watch it than actually do it.
Won't see on the court or on the field.
Yeah,
Just-
none of that. No, I'll watch it. I'll be an avid fan.
Okay. I haven't seen you play basketball, football, soccer. I haven't seen you play.
Ages.
I'm trying to think the last time we even tossed any
a turkey
ball.
bowl years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Turkey bowl. What's?
Did you ever come to the turkey bowls?
Oh.
With like Bet and Kevin, and we would do turkey bowls.
I may have been the one. I don't
I wanna
remember.
say you might have.
But I haven't seen you toss a football even with your son at all.
Nah, we do it digitally.
Oh, you did. The modern age of fatherhood.
He has my 6, He has my 6.
Yes, Gulag Boys for life. That is the game. That is the sport. Um, but yeah, I just think, an all-inclusive room, not hologram, would be dope. Or what if it's
Submersive.
immersive? Okay, so say for instance, half of this room was holographic. That's not enough for you. It has to actually.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Oh, yeah?
Like if this whole okay, let's say my
Just the
wall,
wall.
becomes a level, a stage, like a side scrolling.
Uh-huh.
Like if I'm sitting on my couch and then my high wall becomes a stage, like let's say side scrolling like Castlevania. That'd be fucking awesome. Holy shit. That'd be dope. Like and you could go through the level.
And I think that is that actually, with the way I saw this speaker was made at Best Buy, that feature is possible today. I know I've seen it, and all I have to do is make it bigger. That's it.
well, you can do it with like a projector.
Well, okay, technically yes, but the projector wouldn't feel or have depth.
It wouldn't have depth.
But to have depth, as if you're looking into your neighbor's room and it's totally like
Yes.
castle and
Like
crazy
if I
shit.
walked over here, like
Yeah.
if I moved to one side or the other, and I could see behind the desk and be like, oh, there it is. Grab that.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. I feel like I don't know. I'm imagining now, so I'm tripping balls. But, ooh, okay. Let me pitch something else. Maybe I can take
Pitch
this
it.
further.
Pitch it,
Maybe I
brother.
can take
Go
this
ahead.
further. Now, sadly, when I came up with the idea, I'm not claiming ownership. I'm just saying that maybe me and other people did have the same concept and idea at the same time, and somebody else just beat me to it. And it was Microsoft that beat me to it. But what about?
Not gonna name any names.
I know.
But it was Microsoft.
Yeah, but this was. I'm trying to think when it happened. But this was years and years ago. We're saying, let's say 2002, 2003, when I was just in college. Because I remember sitting in my chair contemplating this idea. But your VR headset is instead of these goggles over your eyes, it's almost like a flash guard, and it's clear. It's a clear flash guard that covers your whole vision, your chin, your ears, whatever, something like that. What it does is that it projects an image onto your flash guard that implements the mapping of your room onto the visual screen of your flash guard. So as you're looking at your couch, you can see your couch, but embedded in the programming and in the glasses, there's a virtually 3D made mimic image and color scheme of your couch, but you can't tell the difference between which is which showing on the screen. And then in the game, a box or ball pops up out of the back of your couch, and you can shoot it, hit it, or whatever. So it takes the environment that you're in and makes it the video game world, so you can look at the table and play with stuff on the table. Now, as I'm describing this, I'm pretty sure you've seen
AR,
this technology.
Yeah, it's AR. Yeah, it's
yes,
AR.
exactly.
The Pokemon Go has it.
Exactly. And so I thought it'd be great to have this visor, and then 2014, 15, I see or maybe even earlier than that, I see a Microsoft, not CES, but some sort of presentation like the one for video games. And sure enough, this guy has the headset, and he's doing with these objects on the table. He couldn't really fuck with the interaction as much as what I'm thinking. And my stuff is meant to be like, you can't tell the difference between a real table and a fake one.
We're absolutely on the cusp of that. Like, for
Yeah.
sure. If it's not already there,
Yeah.
if someone hasn't already done it, we're definitely on the cusp of just, like, doing that.
I would love to. The PlayStation 6 should be that.
It's going to be another 6 to 8 years.
Yeah, you think so?
For sure. I
Yeah.
mean, the 4 came out in 2013,
Yeah.
so that's 7 years.
Yeah.
The
Are they doing that on purpose? Or,
The
I mean, because
three-
Sony's a big company with a lot of engineers. I mean, I think they could.
the 3 came out, like, in 2006.
Well, okay. They are waiting on certain technologies, like SSDs didn't develop till, like, cheaper and more affordable recently and stuff like that. They are a business. So they can't. They probably have the technology, but that thing would cost $5,000 if you got it right away.
For sure, for sure.
So they are kind of waiting for technology to
I mean,
catch
if
up.
you get like a really good VR, you're paying like
Yes.
a couple $1,000
Exactly.
for a really good VR. you know?
Yeah. So,
So the PSVR, it's just an attachment to your PlayStation, so you can't expect it to be mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's awesome,
yeah.
but it's not. You can't expect it to be mind blowing because it's still an attachment to an existing console.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, we'll get there. We're not far, and we'll see it in our lifetime too.
Yeah, we're gonna live till
for
2096
I mean,
or 2090 something. 60 years from now,
I mean,
with all that massive cocaine.
I can't make any promises.
Oh man, I hope at least we get to see a legit flying car, but like one that's like, it's a Honda Civic that flies. You know what I mean? Something like that. Not a flying car where it's like as big as a house or some shit like that. Like a legitimate vehicle, flying vehicle.
I think maybe there's probably I can't
Not a
say
drone
for
either.
sure, but I think in the next 20, 30 years there's going to be a jump in technology.
Uh-huh.
You know, like we experienced in the 80s and 90s. There was a huge jump in technology with just computers, from what computers were then to what they are now.
And that
like,
trips me out. There was nothing. I don't know what.
and it's all been gradual.
Yeah.
These all like we don't notice it because we lived it.
And yeah.
So I think Gavin in his time would be like, yo, I remember when we were doing VR. That was crazy. When I was a kid, we were doing VR off the console.
Yeah.
Now I just have to put these glasses on and I'm doing VR.
Or they slide it into their neck.
Yeah, it's like, man, I got this augmentation. My arm is my cell phone. Like, whoa.
That's gonna be true. I see that. I'm watching that technology advance too. Prosthetic robotic limbs.
Yeah.
My God, it's getting
Now there's
crazy.
like, yo,
where they can
like,
move it with their brain.
Yeah.
Woo.
Isn't that crazy? They connected it to the nerves.
Yeah.
And now they're like, they can actually move. Like,
Yep. And I thought about that.
and can you imagine how much power that needs to be able to do that?
I don't know.
Because obviously the electrodes and the nerve endings.
Do you not think it's enough, or maybe it wasn't?
I don't know that it's enough.
No. Okay. I always thought that maybe you could plug in electric circuit
Maybe
to your
it has
muscles
to be some
and
type of power.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because I know our body emanates an electric charge, right?
we're conductive. I know that for sure.
So I'm not even gonna start.
He's not a scientist.
I'm not a scientist, so I can't say. I mean, like, so in theory,
Yeah.
we should be able to power.
I think we did think about doing that early on, but something about the technology wasn't inept there yet. But because you're right, we do send electronic signals from our brain to our muscle features to do that stuff, and when you shock it, it does twitch. So somebody along the way, a long time ago, probably thought, "Oh shit! If I hook up a machine to my hand or whatever, electronic signals, they could work it out." It just probably took a while to get the programming right and the micro hydraulics right, because they got to be really small. I feel like it's nothing new, but I'm glad I'm watching it progress to get better. That's what tripped me out the most. Not because it's there, because as I've been following it and watching it as an early kid, I've put
As
two
an
and two
early
together.
kid?
Yeah, I'm no Tony Stark, but you can put two and two together. Once you found out the information that you send electronic signals and that there is some electricity flowing from brain to bodies, that some armament can be attached that could possibly use brainwave frequency or something like that. When not Mythbusters, but I think it was not Best Tested. Oh, Tested, something like that. Early spinoff of Mythbusters, and they hooked up a roach to this radio frequency, and then one to it was a trigger or something like that, where you can send your own brainwave frequency to the signal, and it would make the roach turn or move in a different direction. And that was 2009, 10 maybe.
That's tight, because it's funny that you say that, because in the 2012 iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donatello does that to a roach.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he connects some type of device to its head, and through radio frequencies, is able to control the roach.
Yeah. See, putting two and two together, I think anybody can do. It's just a matter of the technology catching up to be able to allow that to happen. For instance, a lot of the Iron Man stuff easily could have been made, but it wasn't until the Iron Man movie came out that we saw some military company actually make a little Iron Man suit. And they've been working on methods of that, but nothing exactly like that look.
I wouldn't think that an Iron Man suit would be practical to have, like for military. Like,
Really? Have you seen the movie?
no, I get it.
Yeah.
Why you would think, but that person, even if they could take a missile, would be fucking dead inside of that suit. There's
The
no,
vibration
there is
alone.
not enough shock absorbers to fucking tell me that a person would survive a fucking
Tank ballista to the chest.
a tank or a fucking a full clip of a fucking machine gun, or like there's no way a person could survive that shit.
Yeah.
Because even when you wear like a Teflon vest or something, that shit still hurts. So imagine getting a fucking barrage of bullets on you, like, oh fuck, and you're telling me you're still gonna be able to walk and fucking
vibranium,
function
son.
and fucking move fast, like. Get the
Wakanda
actual
forever.
fuck out of here.
Even when he fell, didn't he fall from like extreme heights and then like
I don't know
even
if
that
he
alone
did.
like break a leg
I know
or two?
Warhammer did.
Oh yeah, and he broke his
Or War
legs.
Machine, I'm sorry.
He had his legs
Warhammer.
broken.
Yeah.
So they kind of tried to make it realistic.
Yeah, but there's no way. There's an Iron Man suit is a death. It's a death cage.
It would work as maybe a soldier on the ground, just like for like because we already have chest plates that are made out of like some sort of strengthening crazy steel and shit. So a full body suit that's lightweight and can take normal AR bullets or something like that would work. And that have its own little firing back stuff would be somewhat practical than just getting, your flesh open out to get,
I don't know.
chopped up.
Can you imagine a full fucking clip being unleashed on your head and you still surviving that? No.
It would freak me out if I knew it wouldn't kill me, but it would be weird. I mean, the idea is that it will never penetrate. It just reflects off. Yes, it would hurt, but just a regular machine gun. We're not talking like heavy.
It would have to be
artillery.
a situation where your body doesn't touch any of the surfaces. Like it.
So there's
floats
little
in
like
there.
pins that like prevent you from actually hitting it. Not pins, but like springs or
like
something like
something that
Softening
prevents you from
cushion.
actually feeling any of that.
that. Yeah.
Like, because there's no way. Like, your body would not be able to touch like the plate.
Mhm.
Because if it does, then you're gonna feel that shock.
Oh yeah, that shock would have to be spread out through the rest of the system.
Like, there's no way, man. You know what I did see that kind of would make sense? I know I mentioned this anime before,
Was a
but
mech unit?
yeah.
Well,
like
don't we have
a
those?
mech
Or
unit,
China
or
has
like
those?
I don't know if you've seen like Neon Genesis, like after I mentioned it, but their system is like you're actually engulfed. Is that the right word?
Inside the mech unit.
Yeah, but there's like a liquid that you're actually dipped into. You're dipped into the liquid, so you're not necessarily touching anything. You're floating inside of the unit.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, I
'Cause-
mean,
Because there's no shock, because you're technically floating inside the unit.
well, you're still protected if you're 2-3 feet away. Like if you're in a tank, you're really close to the walls. And you
Yeah,
can
but
get hit.
that's what I'm saying. An Iron Man suit wouldn't work because technically you're wearing that thing like armor.
I'm pretty sure there's layers between of soft
Yeah,
cushioning.
but that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Even the soft cushioning, if you're getting hit, you're
Mhm.
gonna feel that vibration of you getting hit.
I think so. Well, I'm gonna say, you remember those two dudes that made that big ass suit for a bear, and it was all out of like styrofoam and whatnot, and they can barely walk, and you saw them take a tree trunk and like swing it from a tree and have him get hit, and he still stood up. You ever see that? If anybody sees that, it's a crazy cool video, long ass time ago. But these two dudes out some buttfuck nowhere made this suit out of like wrapped around styrofoam and cushioning pillows and crazy ass shit for like a bear attack or whatever. And they like tons of barrage of like big heavy objects just hitting the dude, and still was able to get up. Obviously, the larynx stuck out about a foot or so, but it was all still touching him. That based off remembering seeing that video as this conversation was going, I was like, it might be possible, just depending on the type of material and cushioning used.
But see, that's like a layer of a foot.
Yeah. It's a
between you
thick
and
ass layer. But
So,
there might be a way to shrink that. There are those bulletproof T-shirts now. You know what I mean?
but if you get hit, if you get a bullet while you're wearing a bullet
I never
proof
seen
T-shirt,
I never seen them test
like
it
there's
out.
absolutely no way you're gonna survive that. That shock of the bullet
Yeah.
alone hitting you is gonna
Yeah.
fucking kill you.
Well, unless it gets you in the gut. I mean, not the heart. But I mean, what if you get shot in like the kidney or something?
Get the fuck out of here, Keenan.
I never seen the video, but you've seen those T-shirts, right? Where they say it's fully bulletproof, and it's like it looks like a jogging T-shirt.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, whatever.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
Really? Are we at the end because of all that conversation?
yeah, we've just been riffing here, buddy.
Oh, really? Damn,
Yeah.
that went by quick.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah.
Well, if people can make it past all the serious stuff, we got some fun little gems we talked about afterwards.
With that,
I have to save my comments for later. I want to ask you more shit.
no, ask away.
Well, it was all.
We don't have to be done. Hell no.
Are you? Well, no, I don't want to take up the
No, we
audience's
don't have
time.
to be done. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, you know what I do have to say?
What? See
what
what we would miss if you
what we
ended it?
did forget to do last week was announce the winners of the Manscaped
Yes.
giveaway that we were doing
Congratulations.
over the break. The first place winner, I don't remember her name, her last name.
Oh, shit.
Her name's Liz at Lizardistic.
What up?
She's taking the first place 3-pack toner, deodorant, and the body wash. And then there's Arpadilla. He's taking the second one.
Nice. Congrats to the winners.
Congrats to you guys. We'll announce it on the IG, and then you guys will get your stuff.
Do we
within
do we
the
sign
next
them with
couple
our
weeks.
signatures on it?
Sure, why not? Let's do it. So congratulations to you guys.
Yay!
Didn't do it last week, and a week prior to that, we were, on extended hiatus.
Yes.
Um,
But thanks for
So, yeah.
listening, watching, commenting, posting,
Absolutely, guys.
linking, subscribing, all that stuff.
we don't do this often enough, but please make sure to if you're listening on iTunes, please rate and review us.
Mhm.
If you're listening on Spotify, follow us. And can you rate on Spotify? I don't know if you can.
You can like it on Spotify.
Oh, yeah,
You
then
can click
like
the like
us.
button. Yes.
Hit the like button. If you're listening on Google, do the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can rate us on Google.
And
I'm
if
not
you
sure.
if you really enjoy the show, spread the word out. Tell your boys or your girls, hey, this episode was crazy. You gotta listen to it. Check it out. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and once again, we are serious about getting a third host in here. So if you guys are interested, please make sure to reach out to us and let us know what you can bring to the fray.
And I do sometimes do the show butt ass naked. So you have to be cool with that.
You have to be cool with it.
Yes.
And again, there's no. I mean, we're not looking at gender lines. So as long as you're dope and you're funny, you can fuck with us. Then we'd love to have you. But obviously, we have to go through everybody. So yeah, submit. Feel free. And with that,
I'll save my stuff for later. If I just wanted to extend more on the PlayStation on games.
no, let's go with it. Yeah,
But
no.
that can be done at a later time.
You sure?
Yeah.
We just
positive.
went off on tangents and shit.
I know it was wild. I love those the best. Who knows who listens if they like it or not? But
I think we've had a pretty solid episode.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
let's do a review of our episode after every episode.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that between you and I. And with that, we have come to the
Yes.
soapbox portion of our show. For those of you just tuning in who have never listened to this show, the soapbox portion is a little segment that we do where each speaker gets an opportunity to talk. Usually, if we have a guest, we'll have them start. We have no guest this week. We kind of fucked that up.
Oh, we didn't fuck it up.
I honestly forgot.
We have a life too.
Yeah.
We do live stuff and live things, but
So yeah, we usually have the guests speak first. Since we don't have a guest, Keenan's gonna jump it off. This is a moment to speak on anything you want to speak on, promote, rant, vent, anything you want to talk about, uninterrupted. Keenan, feel free to take the stage. The soapbox. Sorry, feel free to take the soapbox.
oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Yes. So, thank you for listening. Thank you, Joe, having me here, having to continue this going on. Thank you all. It's awesome. My soapbox for today is go. Yes, yes. It's to go check out Dave Chappelle's new special, 846, which is the time period that George Floyd had his basically neck crushed by this police officer. That's the amount of time period he was on there. So it was it hit hard. Definitely made me like just stare out into oblivion for a while. And it's well worth it. It's good. It's really, really good. Go watch that. Um, and then hopefully after that, you can still think about the enjoyments of life in your own life and the things you have uh, with you currently and the things you could have in the future, and still plan for the best and work towards the best and work towards the hardest work on yourself. Get things going. Don't let everything in the world stop you from a lot of your goals and dreams, as crazy as they are, because it is still your world and you only have one of them. At least unless we're talking about karma and all that stuff and religion and whatnot. But aside from all that stuff, yeah, just try and be a good person. Um, Stay off the road when Keenan's driving behind you because I don't like it when you block my ass. But if it's for a good cause, you can do it as much as you want. And good luck to everyone out there. And we'll see you back on the next episode.
Do you yield? Do you yield your time, Keenan?
Yes.
Keenan has yielded his time. It is my turn to speak.
Drop the mic.
I'm gonna piggyback kind of on what you were speaking about. Yes, watch Chappelle's special. I think it's on Netflix's
And
IG account.
YouTube.
They didn't, and YouTube. I don't think they released it on Netflix proper. But it is about half an hour. I think it's about half an hour special. I think it's great because that means a lot of people don't have Netflix. So the fact that Netflix put it out on their social media for everyone to watch is pretty dope. It's genius because it's definitely a message that needs to be heard. So listen to that. Make sure. I know shit's crazy right now, and some of you might have what do you call it, like protest. I don't know what you call it, but fatigue. You might be fatigued because of all the shit that you're seeing on social media, all the things you're watching on the news, and it's okay. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to be exhausted from all this negative information. And I'm not saying that it's negative because we shouldn't be listening to it or watching it, but because it's just it it it's very draining. That's what I should have said draining, because it's a lot of important information, and it can be draining. It's draining to your heart. It's a lot of sadness. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that's good to see. There are a lot of changes happening, and if you're a person who's constantly posting, I mean, last week I kind of went on a post binge. The last couple of days I kind of took off because yes, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna be exhausted, but you have to remember that a lot of people are still out there. They're still out there protesting. They're still out there fighting the good fight. And there are a lot of people out there as well who are conspiracy theorists who are saying, oh, this and that BLM is part of a bigger conglomerate and is being controlled by such and such and such and such. Don't fucking take away from the fucking movement. By some of you doing that shit, it's kind of negating all the shit that some of these people are fighting for. They don't give a fuck about who owns this or what family owns that or who has control of this and the media and all that bullshit. No, these people are out on the fucking streets. Nobody fucking owns the streets but the fucking people. So stop with that bullshit and just get behind the people who are actually trying to make a difference. By you saying, oh, the Soros family owns this, so they're taking the profits of this and that and all this, like, what are you trying to do? Like, why are you trying to refute what the people in the streets are fucking doing? What do you gain from it by saying, "Oh, I know about this stuff. I'm informed. I'm woke." Fuck you. Do some shit. If you know what the fuck is going on, do something about that while the other people are out there fucking protesting. While the other people are donating to the families of the fucking victims who've been affected by a lot of this shit. Instead of you saying, well, I'm informed. I'm not going to participate in that. Fuck you. You're part of the fucking problem, you idiot. Cut that shit out. Or do something about it. Do something progressive, something that's going to help the people that are actually out there trying to do something. Instead of you fucking being on your computer, finding all these conspiracy theories and saying, "Oh, well, I know, so I'm going to be prepared." Prepared for fucking what? Because if something happens, you're not going to be able to do shit about it anyway. I don't know. I guess that's it. When did we become so political, Keenan? Like, what the fuck?
When we lost Philly.
Jesus.
Had to fill the void.
Oh, man.
It sound like a train trying to choo choo.
Fuck you. This is
Well, that was the last episode, wasn't it?
helicopter.
That was great. I forgot I did that. All right,
And with that, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen, this has been episode 77 of the motherfucking None of Our Business podcast.
Eat your woman out.
Suck your man's dick. Love you.